Imagine assembling something as complex as a boat. We have a detailed arrangement showing where everything should go and the general layout. But this isn't just any production boat. It's a completely custom design. And there are no IKEA-like instructions on how things are supposed to go together.
Because it's all custom, right? One of these boats has never been built before.
So the finer points of assembly must be refined and figured out as we go.
575 off the center line to the inside of the door.
And then you need to find a way to fabricate the parts as specified in the drawings, using available materials and techniques that will stand up to years and years in a moving marine environment. But more often than not, we end up with something that we're truly proud of.
This is different than when I started with the original concept for the bulkhead, right? And it's orders of magnitude better. But I don't think we would have been able to get there unless...
We adapt and learn as we go, which starts with research. Lots and lots of research. And lots of information to filter through. But Brian, isn't this all already in the design, I hear you ask? Well, yes, it is. We have basic measurements for widths and heights, but how the door frame is constructed, the actual height of the bed with the mattress, what type of foam to use for the cushions is up to us.
1,000 questions that needs to be answered.
Which means we need to weigh a number of pros and cons for each decision and make a choice based on cost, weight, our own personal preferences, and countless other factors.
It's just so many different ways you can do things.
I think we've come up with a really good method for attaching this material to the metal of the boat.
Yeah, it's a different part of the build starting now. No way. I haven't seen the walls yet.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
Holy, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You can really start to see the space too. It's like a vault to somewhat easier than what I first imagined too.
Well, you just don't, you just don't know until you try it.
Yeah.
And then you try something and you say, okay, this is a pretty good idea, but let's refine it. So this is maybe the, because this is different than when I started with the original concept for the bulkhead, right? And it's orders of magnitude better. But I don't think we would have been able to get there unless you start somewhere and you're like, okay, we can, because it's all custom, right? This is, one of these boats has never been built before.
Yeah.
There's no detail for the interior. It's just like, this is the position. It's like a flat 2D drawing. It doesn't show any. It's not only the design, but it's also the fabrication and construction methods too that we're figuring out, and what materials to use and how to connect those materials together and how to work with them and all that stuff. So,
you see, it's not just deciding what to build, but figure out how to build it, what materials to use, how those materials work together, and the list goes on and on. Every decision is part of a bigger puzzle, and the only way to solve it is piece by piece. You test, adjust, refine, and repeat. And this whole process begins a little bit like this.
you'd rather have it open against the cabinets? More of this, we got room this way, right?
Wouldn't it be better that it actually acts as the door for this? You know how we have ours?
Where your shoulders are, it's wide right here. Yeah.
How would you access the back pumps though?
So every single decision we make now, every cut, every material, affects how Delos 2.0 will hold up to years on the ocean. Safe to say, we really want to nail this. But fortunately, one of the hardest workers I know in the entire world was on the way.
I also just got a message from my friend Super Ryan that he's on his way here. So he's been visiting the boat like a bunch of times. We first met him in Annapolis like 5 years ago now when he came to help us out. So we're super stoked to have him on the team, and he has quite a bit of travel in front of him.
It is Monday night at about 6 p.m. and I got a long road ahead of me. All right. So saying goodbye to the girls here. See you guys in a couple of months.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
with Super Ryan on his way and ready to get down and dirty, we pressed on. Today, we'd be permanently fixing the bulkhead in place. But how exactly we do it was one of the many things on my mind.
It's actually really fun. It's such a different part of the build that I have started now. Just to sit and just like going through all of these different scenarios and things and figuring out, like, it's just so many different ways you can do things.
And we just put a nice 45, we don't need to weld it, nice 45 corners on it. And then your flooring's going to cover it all anyway.
Before we could permanently fix the bulkhead, we needed to put the flooring in. That's because all of this holly pan material would need to get joined together as one solid structure. With that done, the next challenge was figuring out exactly how to secure it all together, which meant it was time for proof of concept.
We're going to do some experimentation with joining these. This is the existing bulkhead we have.
Yeah.
This would be going across the boat with a door into, let's say, the guest room. What you do is you cut a channel, leaving one of the skins, and then you fit this, and then you epoxy it in. Then you've got epoxy on 3 sides of that piece you just created a T-section with, and it gives it strength this way. And so I'm going to experiment with that and see just on some scrap pieces. It's going to goop out of there, right? I think it's plenty.
It's been really fun to kind of start on a new stage, I guess, because it's really just like a lot of trouble solving, you know? What do you call it? Troubleshooting, trial and errors, and just like seeing the design process is just, yeah, it's so much fun. Clamp it and leave it to tomorrow?
Yeah.
I just drove up to Beatus to pick up our toilets because we're working in that area. We wanted to kind of like get the toilets and to just be able to put them in there and see. So it's really amazing to have them so close by. It's awesome. But so much have happened in the shop. It's crazy. There's so much going on in the shop today.
Yeah, mate. Just put some temporary stairs in.
That's amazing. It looks great.
Give you the shape that we're looking at anyway.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out the stairs, how the steps will be, so we know kind of this like, I call it the poof, but it's like a stepping that you step to either side. You kind of step down on and then you go to the aft and the forward. They're trying to figure out where that's going to be placed, but because that will govern like where the door will be for the head and all that kind of stuff. You come down the stairs and then you step on this thing and then you kind of go to each side. So we're trying to figure out this and also these bulkheads.
After some test fitting, the bulkhead slid right into place and lined up perfectly. But our work here was far from done. We now needed a plan to secure the bulkhead to the aluminum structure of the boat. And Dan and I hatched a plan.
So we made these brackets, and they have holes in them which are 5 millimeters wide. So basically I cut this notch out with the multi-tool, fill this with epoxy, and then we press this in here. And the idea is that we're trying to find a good way to mount this part of the bulkhead, we still have a little bit of clearance, yet have this be the right height out. So right now what Dan's doing is, you know, we just glued those brackets in, and while the epoxy was still wet, we fit the bulkhead, we get it exactly level, straight.
And you just push to me, a tiny bit if you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Before the epoxy hardened, we temporarily tack welded the mounts in place.
And then we bring these metal brackets up, we clamp those in place, and then we let everything dry. When it dries, then we drill holes in it, and then we can rivet these mounts straight to the flat bar liner. And so that sandwiches it at the top and the bottom, and we've got the sides fixed. It's a pretty thorough method of fastening this stuff in. So you should be able to lean on it, push on it. You know, if it gets rough, you should be able to bump up against it. This is not even attached, by the way. It's not riveted or anything, and it's already pretty solid.
With the stairs and bulkhead fixed in place, we could now test fit the centerpiece of the room.
What have you got, the old Thunderbox?
There it is.
Hey?
The Thunderbox, huh? Is that a new Australian word? Yeah.
I had to look up the one of the squids stick.
Which one?
Stick in a squid or something?
Stick in a squid? I don't remember that one, but I might use it. Put a horn on a jellyfish.
Yes!
That one.
The horn on the jelly.
What does that mean? With the horn, like useless, like a screen door on a submarine?
Oh, sort of. It's probably a bit unappropriate for the younger
Really?
viewers.
You know,
Hey,
so
what are you doing? You want some toilet roll, mate?
Excuse me.
All right, made it here to LAX. We made good time. I'm interested to see what that number is going to end up being when I finally get to hug Brian.
I mean,
how does it feel?
I think it needs to come over more this. We got room this way, right? We do potentially could go something like that.
But then you're sitting.
Bend your knees into the wall, isn't it?
It feels more natural to have it more straight, right?
Is that how you sit with your hands in your lap?
How would you access the back pumps though?
Just how do you get in there to hook your hose up? I wonder if we could cut in
Like access back there or something. Yeah.
cut in an access hatch. I've got that channel coming.
Where's the plunger go? You need to place the plunger, don't you?
Plunger.
I feel like it's 1,000 questions that needs to be answered and we need to figure out different dimensions and all of these things, and my brain can barely keep up, but we're getting there one thing at a time, and we're doing really good. But it's the end of another very productive, extremely hot day.
Oh my god.
I just got home and look at this crazy lizard that was under the trash bin. I think it's like a blue tongue. Oh, Jesus! This guy's not happy. What is he attacking me?
Whoa, what is that?
It's a massive lizard.
Too cool. As I should probably mow the lawn.
How did Daddy turn me to mow the lawn every single day?
It's pretty much like that, right? It never ends.
Meanwhile, a few hundred kilometers down the coast,
I am here. I'm in Sydney, Australia. Remember, I started a timer. 52 hours exactly. My plan is relax this evening, get some sleep tonight, and then tomorrow my buddy Simon has left me a Volkswagen station wagon. Brisbane's about a 9.5 to 10 hour drive from here. I think that's if you're a local. I'm probably gonna struggle because we gotta drive on the wrong side of the car, wrong side of the street. My goal is to get some good rest tonight so that tomorrow I can make that drive. And if it takes me all day to make that drive to get up to Brian, I'm totally good with that. I just want to make sure I get there safe.
How nice is the
I
sunset
miss the
here?
sunsets.
So pretty.
It is beautiful, isn't
I
it?
love it. I hope we can stay here and watch this forever.
and as we hit the hay after a big day, Ryan was getting ready for his last leg of the trip.
I literally just slept for almost 12 hours and I feel great. And I've got a theory that since I'm in Sydney and I've got to deal with traffic getting out of Sydney, I'd rather do that at 2 in the morning when there's no traffic and I can make some mistakes. Key, looks like it goes in here somewhere. I'd rather do that now than at 7 in the morning. I feel like I've never driven before. It's so weird. Okay, I have no idea what that means. I guess it's a crosswalk. Those are like little legs, is what that looks like. We don't have squiggly lines like that or leg things like those in the United States. I guess that's what that is leggies.
As Ryan deciphered the strange Aussie road signs, I was up early, ready to put in another big day.
All right. Today is pretty exciting because I'm actually going to start fitting the components for the hybrid propulsion system. So this is one of the mounts. So these holes right here, you can see there and there, they bolt onto the Nani diesel itself, and then the electric motor and the clutch and everything attaches to this end. And I'm just quite keen to kind of like loosely fit everything together and see, you know, how it fits, how it feels, how the space looks, and start kind of bolting the components in. Yeah, that fits good. Okay, there's another little issue I found. So I'm putting the mount on the outboard side of the motor, and I don't know if you can see it, but the mount is hitting the bell housing right there. So I'm gonna have to draw a little thing on there and get Nate to notch that out as well.
I guess Australians don't speed because it seems like everybody does exactly the speed limit, which is very different from the United States. And look here, the clock is still ticking. So almost 71 hours. So anyway, I got about 3 hours until I get to the boatyard. I've got a little bit of a plan. Brian doesn't think I'm coming in till late tonight. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm just gonna sneak up on him and catch him in the act of working and surprise him. And I can't wait to see the boat.
And I was equally excited to see my friend, who has always been there to help us out enduring the sweaty heat and excelling at boat yoga. Much like this propulsion system, which was already requiring a few minor modifications.
Well, I've been mounting equipment, and I'm starting to mount the controllers for the combi system. And I had it mounted all nice on the wall, and I thought that it was not going to interfere with the steering. It did, Rob, and so I actually think I mounted it in a better place now. Instead of mounting it like this, I mounted it like this. It says it can be mounted landscape, horizontal, or vertical. And now I've got full play on the steering, and I've got good clearance there.
All right, I'm pulling in right now. Private property. All right, let's see if I can sneak up on these guys. Bay 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see if we can sneak up on them. Yeah, I'm with the EPA here. Need to inspect this thing. That's right, baby. It's time to get back to work.
Super Ryan himself, here early. Love it.
Better be early than late.
Well,
right?
come on in, man. You're just in time. Literally been here for 3 minutes and right to work. That's the way we do it.
Digs.
Yeah, this is our little place. It's not anything crazy or fancy, but it's ours. Aha!
I see somebody. What's happening? What's happening? This is me right here in the bunk bed. I got this.
You
over
get
here.
the top.
This is me right here, Sierra. This is me.
You get top. Sierra gets bottoms.
Oh, what do I need to say?
Okay, Sierra, you have to.
Hey, mate, how you going?
Good day, mate. How you going?
Look at the haircut, then.
Yeah.
Looking fresh.
The girls reckon it's a cross between a mohawk and a mullet, but
A mullet hawk?
I mean,
they
both
said
are,
it's too hip for me.
both are in style right now.
Yeah,
so.
apparently I'm not hip enough to wear this, but I'm going to rock it. That'd be alright.
Hi, Rob.
Looks good.
How you going?